Fox 5 News at 6 starts right now.
The attack against an inmate at the Fulton County Jail last week leads to a call for major change. We'll hear from the sheriff.
Plus, a woman's behind bars accused of exploiting and neglecting disabled adults. The conditions authorities say they lived in while at an unlicensed care home.
And one Metro Atlanta Police Department now has a new headquarters. We'll take a look at the community impact. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Russ Spencer.
And I'm Christine Spiro in for Courtney Bryant. An emotional day in court for victims of a mass shooting and their loved ones. 5 people were wounded. One gunman opened fire during a community event at Rosa L Burney Park in southwest Atlanta last year. The suspects charged in the case were in court today. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live at the Fulton County Courthouse with the latest developments. Deidre?
The victims and their families were also in court today. One of those victims, she lost her vision after the shooting. Another young lady, she was left paralyzed. Now, those family members tell us that their lives have been forever changed and they want justice.
I want justice. And nobody don't know how I feel.
A single bullet changed the course of Kamisha Battle's life, robbing her of her vision and the world she once knew.
I was on life support. I had to learn how to talk and walk again.
Battle was blinded. A second victim left paralyzed, and 3 others also wounded when gunmen opened fire during a neighborhood gathering at Rosa L Burney Park in southwest Atlanta last August.
I do want justice. I want all individuals that were involved in the shooting. They need some time.
The state will request a bench warrant and bond forfeiture.
The 4 suspects charged in the case were in court for an arraignment hearing Monday. They're charged with aggravated assault, reckless conduct, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony.
Were you involved in the shooting?
No, they trying to frame me, to be honest.
Timothy Branford is one of the defendants in the case. He spoke to reporters as he left the courthouse and insists he's innocent.
Nothing to do with it. I haven't shot a gun. I haven't got checked for gun residue. They ain't did nothing.
Branford says he and his family were working the event, operating the bouncy houses when gunfire erupted. He is eager to clear his name.
They need to just get this case down to the bottom and find the right people, because I'm not with them. We're never going to be okay.
Tabitha Colsey has spent the past year helping her daughter recover and says she won't rest until those responsible are held accountable.
And we want justice, and we as mothers, we will fight until we get justice.
Now, the victims' families also today criticizing city officials because they say city officials have not reached out to them since the shooting. They have not offered any form of resources or assistance to them during this difficult time when they say they could really use some help. At the Fulton County Courthouse, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
All right, we'll see how this develops. Deidre, thanks. The GBI plans to conduct an autopsy on the body of a woman who was killed in a weekend domestic dispute. Police say her husband killed her before he was shot by Douglasville police officers. Sabrina Walker died in the front yard of her Little Brook Way home on Saturday night. The GBI says she ran out of the house during an argument with her husband, Volanta Lawan Walker. According to authorities, the man was armed in the yard when officers arrived. He reportedly refused to put down the weapon and pointed the gun at police, who then shot him. Walker survived. One of his wife's daughters was in the home at the time of the shooting.
I literally brought a knife to a gunfight. I couldn't do anything. He could have took me with her. So as much as I wanted to save my mama, I'm happy I'm still here with all my sisters.
Sabrina Walker would have turned 57 years old yesterday, and it was supposed to be the day that she opened her new barbershop. The family went forward with that grand opening in her memory.
Deputies are investigating a domestic-related shooting in Rockdale County. Investigators were called to Salem Road around 8 this morning. They say they found a woman shot there. Medics took her to the hospital where she died from her injuries. Authorities confirm the gunman is still on the run. In Northwest Atlanta, police want to find the person who shot a man during a dispute. It happened at the Reserve at Bolton Road. That's located on Bolton Road near Highway 78. Officers say one man was shot and taken to the hospital in stable condition. Police say the man was shot by another man during a verbal dispute. Investigators are working to learn more about what happened.
We now have the mugshot of the second person convicted in the murder of Charles Edward Stanley. A Newton County jury found Tyrese Bell guilty of murder, aggravated assault, and weapons offenses. And back in March of 2020, Stanley was shot and killed in his vehicle at a home on Harveywood Drive. Another jury convicted Bell's co-defendant, Shane Robinson, earlier this year for his part in the murder. Prosecutors say evidence showed Bell and Robinson shot AR-style rifles at Stanley's vehicle. New at 6, a DeKalb County jury has convicted a Lithonia woman of housing disabled adults in unsanitary conditions and depriving them of proper care. Back in December of 2021, a severely disabled man called police to report that he was living in a home with several other people in terrible conditions. He lived in the basement of the home without heat or air conditioning, and the basement was covered in sewage from a toilet that overflowed. Prosecutors say in January of 2022, they discovered the horrific state of the unlicensed care home that Crystal Nasir owned and operated. The judge sentenced her to 15 years to serve, with 10 years in confinement and the balance on probation.
Also new at 6, in Cotussa County, a jury has convicted a Chattanooga man of trafficking fentanyl. It took the jury one day to find Ladarius Nolly guilty. Prosecutors say he brought fentanyl into Georgia and exchanged drugs for sex acts. Investigators found nearly 10 grams of fentanyl hidden under a motel mattress during Nolly's arrest in Fort Oglethorpe. Chief Superior Judge Brian House sentenced Nolly to 5 years in prison, followed by 25 years of probation. Time now to get you updated on your weather forecast. It's been gray and gloomy, but seeing a few breaks in the clouds right now and some blue skies behind it here as we look live on our 101 Marietta camera.
Yeah, nicer than it's been most of the day today. Chief Meteorologist David Shanley joins us. We could use the moisture, David.
We could use the rainfall. It depends on where you are, what kind of conditions we're seeing out there. We've seen some clouds, seen some lighter rain, seen some sunshine. You got temperatures up here in the lower 70s due to the cloud cover and that east wind. And then we busted up near 80 or so down in LaGrange and Thomas. And look at Eatonton at 82, and they had a shower nearby. In fact, Fox 5 Live Vipers picking that up right now. The heaviest concentrations out here to the east, and you can see that's I-20 going through Morgan County into Greene County. Got a little shower on the Putnam and Jasper County line, and all this is moving off from the east to the west. Yeah, we're getting a little push right here, so it's climbing down to I-20. Now, what's going to happen once we lose the heating of the day, and that's right around the corner now at our sunset at 7:15, that's going to go away. You can see here on our surface features, not much going on. There's a boundary, there's a front well out there to our west, and this front trying to come this direction, and it will, and kind of arrive in here in the middle part of the week that will enhance our rain chance for a little bit. But in the meantime, just get used to seeing some clouds out there and some breaks in the clouds tonight. Or down out of the 70s into the upper 60s. Not feeling like October, though. We're supposed to be down into the 50s, but we're not. Not tonight. Not last night, not tonight either. Right there in the low in the mid-60s and plenty of spots, and that's from the mountains all the way through the southern suburbs. Then for tomorrow, I think we'll break loose of that kind of stubborn cloudiness that we had, and we'll find high temperatures stretching all the way up into the low in the mid-80s. But we got a higher rain chance on Wednesday, and then cooler temperatures the rest of the week. We'll get into that here in about 20 minutes.
All right, David, thanks so much. We have an update on a story we broke last week about a female inmate at the Fulton County Jail being critically injured, allegedly at the hands of another inmate. Now the Fulton County Sheriff has made changes at the jail as a result of that attack. Tariana Ledbetter remains in critical condition at Grady Memorial Hospital with her family by her side. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor tells us about those major changes now underway at the Rice Street Jail.
Sheriff Labatt put out a memo over the weekend suspending all law enforcement units and redirecting everyone here to the Fulton County Jail. Sheriff Patrick Labatt has suspended all crime-fighting units at the sheriff's office. Things like vehicle pursuits and traffic stops are no more. The memo says personnel has been redirected exclusively to work at the Rice Street Jail. The change in operations follows the vicious attack on 20-year-old inmate Tariana Ledbetter. Ledbetter's mother tells Fox 5 her daughter, who suffers from mental illness, is on life support at Grady Memorial Hospital after inmate Shania White, whose family says she too suffers from mental illness, allegedly attack Ledbetter. The chairman of the largest county in Georgia says 14 days after the violent attack, he and the commissioners still have not been briefed by the Fulton County Sheriff's Office.
On the previous administration, anytime anything would happen at the jail, we would be notified immediately, instantaneously about anything happening at the jail. County attorney has not been briefed. I spoke with Jessica Corbett, our Director of External Affairs. She has not been briefed.
Another major shakeup, Chief Jailer Colonel Jarrett Gorlin moves out of the top spot and has been reassigned to a part-time position of leading the drone first responder program. Chairman Pitts believes a full-time certified jail employee should have been in the job to begin with.
I just find it strange that the chief jailer for a jail as important as the Fulton County Jail would not have a permanent full-time county employee in that position as opposed to a $1 per year person.
The chairman tells us the federal monitor is here this week, so she will be hands-on. As for the sheriff, he declined our interview to talk about these changes. In Northwest Atlanta, Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
There's a new